I'm gonna show you how this $1 investment on this desk turned into this $300,000 asset. So as you guys know, we just finished moving into a brand new office. And as we were moving into this office, we were shopping for furniture. And Mr. Ben Jammin' Deals over here was on OfferUp. And on OfferUp, what did you find?
So I was looking for a desk on OfferUp. I saw this listing. This guy posted this beautiful desk for $1. For me, honestly, I thought it wasn't true. It wasn't true, so I messaged the guy, let him know, hey, I'm interested in purchasing the desk.
We'll put the messages right here for you guys.
And he responded. He's like, yeah, come pick it up. So I asked him for the address. He sends me the address. I tell him on my way. He says, okay. And then I'm sure at this point he knows that he listed the desk for $1. So again, I show up to the property and I knock on the door. I see the desk. I introduce myself. I talk to him. And as I was walking through the door, before I even introduced myself to him, I saw a lockbox on the door. So at that point, I saw a lockbox. I'm like, either he's trying to sell the house, he's getting ready to sell the house. So I asked him, I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's the deal with the lockbox? And he was like, oh, well, I had this house on the market and I tried selling it for the past 90 days and he couldn't sell it with the regular real estate agent. So I kind of told him what we do, how we purchase properties. And in the meantime, we were looking at the desk and he was semi-interested at the time. I kind of told him, hey, this is how we purchase properties. This is how we can create a win-win situation, not only for yourself, but also for us. And he was super intrigued. And at that time, I was asking him questions like, why do you think the house didn't sell? One is he probably didn't have enough equity. Two, the agent probably wasn't doing their job. Three, they probably weren't marketing it correctly. So I was kind of getting his pain points to see what we can do to be able to create a win-win situation for him. I let Chris know about the situation of this guy interested in selling his house. Meanwhile, we were getting the desk over here to the office. And then that's when Mr. Chris gave Mr. Rod a call.
So we actually, Ben set it up for him, letting him know that we were interested, identified the pain points, and we called him on our morning free accountability Zoom call. So if you're not in the Zoom call, make sure you click down below to get in this Zoom call where we call live sellers. You're gonna see the video of when I talk to the seller and get him on the phone and how I identify his goals and how we lock up this deal for $1. So not only did we get a desk, we were able to get a house for $1. Here's the call.
Hello?
Mr. Rod?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, how are you? This is Chris Silva. I'm one of Ben's business partners.
Pretty good. How's it going?
I'm doing amazing. How's your morning going so far?
Pretty good. Just waking up.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Did I get you at a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So first and foremost, man, thanks for the desk, bro. It fit perfect right where we needed it to.
Right.
And then so Ben was telling me a little bit about the property. He told me that you were trying to sell it and you weren't able to sell it just because of the no equity situation, the solar panel situation. Is that correct?
Well, it had equity. It just didn't have. Nobody wants to take over the solar. So yeah.
I see. And did he tell you a little bit about what we do?
Yeah, he explained a little bit. And we didn't go over everything.
Yeah, well, so we specialize in these types of deals, especially people with solar panel. It's very, very hard to kind of move those solar liens or try to do anything with them because most of the time, especially where rates are at right now, people don't qualify for them. I mean, you were able to experience the situation when it comes to solar panels necessarily. And for us is we buy real estate all across the country. My real estate, Texas, New Mexico. When we buy real estate, we typically either buy it cash, but when we buy it cash, we buy it at a discounted rate, or we buy real estate through structuring deals. In this case, this would probably be something that we would structure a deal on. And it's just kind of to create that win-win situation as far as what it is that you're trying to accomplish and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. For us, we look at this like a longevity play. So we're not going to get rich when we buy a house. It literally comes to building the appreciation and all that good stuff, which is obviously going to take time. We look at this as a 10, 15-year play. However, we're starting to, we do buy now. Now, with that kind of being said, is there a number in mind that you were kind of trying to walk away with, trying to net out on this property?
Yeah, about 70.
About 70. Okay. Is that after paying the solar panels or?
Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you owe on the property?
I think it was like 155.
155. How much do you owe on the solar panels?
I think 20,000.
So 20,000. So let's see. So 150, 170, 170. And you said you wanted to net after paying closing costs?
Right.
Okay. And you said you had this house on the market at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much did you have it listed for?
We had listed for 245.
245. Okay. Yeah. So, and just to break it down for you, at $245,000, you're typically going to pay 10% in closing costs whenever you put something on the market. So you're looking at $24,000 minus the 150 that you owe, minus the solar panels. The net is about $50,000. Were you aware of that? Like by selling it on the market, you were going to net about $50,000?
Yeah, that's why I was doing solar. Like they had to take over solar.
Ah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. So you were hoping for someone else to just come in and get qualified for that.
Yeah.
Cool. So ideally, if I were to be able to get you $70,000, I mean, that would probably make you really, really happy then, right? So ideally, the way we would be able to get you your equity is this would be a seller finance deal. Basically, what we would do is I would take care of your first mortgage. I would continue making this going to be a subject to deal with a seller finance on the equity. So instead of you worrying about the property management, toilet, termites, tenants, especially from the other side of the country, is in a sense that you're going to become our bank for the $70,000. Ideally, we're going to create a cash flow for you every single month. So that cash flow is probably going to pay for your apartment over there in the Philippines. Ideally, I'm going to be making you monthly payments. And then once I refinance the property, that's when you get paid out. Now, for a seller, a lot of times a seller will, there's several reasons why a seller would want to do this. One, you're not leaving no equity on the table. That's the biggest thing, is you're not going to leave no equity on the table. Two, is you're going to get the price that you want. And three, you're not going to have to pay the capital gains tax on the profits. Even though this was your homestead, there's probably not as much capital gains since it's not an investment property. However, there might be some taxes in the back end, but up front, you're not going to get taxed because you're not making money. In a sense, the fourth thing is you're protected by the asset. And this is the best thing about real estate, is you're carrying a deed of trust against the asset. So now your protection is the real estate itself. If something were to happen to me, if I were to get abducted by aliens and stop making payments, ideally, since you're the bank, is you're able to take back the property. However, we own over 200 properties all across Texas and New Mexico. So that's never happened to us. But I liked a lot of sellers, they always want to see worst case scenario.
Okay.
The best thing about it is you're not going to leave no equity on the table. I'm going to take over the solar panels, and you're basically going to start receiving a cash flow until I'm able to refinance. Typically refinancing, obviously this is a newer home. So especially since I know I'm paying top dollar for this property, it's going to be a little bit until I'm able to build the equity that this property needs in order for me to refinance. I always want to refinance as fast as possible, because when I refinance, that money is tax-free to me. So what I do with all our properties is we build up the equity, and then when we refinance, our sellers get paid out, and then whatever's left on top, we take that money, and it's tax-free money for ourselves. It literally becomes infinite return at that point, and we take that money and we go buy more real estate.
So what would the numbers look like on mine?
Yeah, so ideally, the $70,000 is what you want. I know that is top dollar. However, basically, I would give you the $70,000 on terms. So you wouldn't worry about the house no more. $70,000, you would be receiving $194 every single month. And I don't know how soon you want to close. However, if this is a go, we could sign the contract and we could probably close within 7 to 10 days.
Okay, I'm leaving on the 16th.
On the 16th, that's in 5 days. Why don't, so the biggest thing is going to be the title company. I have a close relationship with the escrow officer there. And ideally, I could probably ask her for a rush. But the biggest thing here is going to be just for how fast we sign the contract and move on it.
Honestly, I don't think I'll be interested, because if I'm renting it out now, I'll make anywhere between 500 and 1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I sell it again later, I'll get the full amount.
Okay, so what would you say? I know you asked, would you get the 90 completely? Is that something that ideally would make more sense for you?
If what?
If the basically that $200 was just every month and didn't go against the 70,000 against the $70,000.
Right.
Is that something that would interest you more?
Yeah. I mean, more for sure.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing is for us is, like I said, is we look at this as a long play for ourselves. So, I mean, if I'm able to get you the $194 with still having a balance of $70,000 when we refinance, this is basically what will allow us to kind of do this deal then, right? Because it sounds to me what you're looking for is you want to make, I guess it's not necessarily interest, but you want to make that appreciation for carrying the note over time.
Right.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me look into this. I just want to make sure that if I'm able to do this, we're going to be able to have a deal. According to my numbers right here, there's two options that we could do. And you let me know which one sounds better for yourself. And what I think is it's probably going to be this first option that I'm about to give you is ideally the $200, the $194 a month, I could give it to you. And then the $70,000 will still be the remaining balance when I refinance. So you're going to be carrying a note against the property for $70,000 with payments of $200 every single month, or $194. Or the cash flow that basically you're going to make in a 1 year period is I could pay you $70,000 plus I could give you $3,600 down at the time of closing, and then equal payments of $194. However, that's gonna go towards the $70,000.
You said how much down?
$3,600.
15. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely makes more sense for the first one.
Yeah, so the first one is just basically you're taking your, how would I say this? You're taking appreciation, basically. Future appreciation. So like on my end, it doesn't make as much sense. And the reason why is because you're selling me the property based on potential of it going of it going up. Obviously, we all know real estate is going to continue to go up. But the biggest thing here is, I mean, you're going to be across the country, you know?
Okay. Yeah, let me talk to my sister real quick.
Okay.
And I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. Is your sister going to be the one that's going to kind of decide, or?
Well, I owe her 30 grand. So,
I see.
that $194 is going to be going to her.
Okay.
To make her, have her make the decision.
Okay. When would be the best time for me to follow up with you? Can I follow up with you before noon?
I'll give you a call back as soon as I know. It will definitely be today because we're running out of time.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I asked. It's just the biggest thing is with the title company, especially if we're going to want to close on the 16th. I think that's the biggest thing here. However, we'll touch base by the end of the day. and then we'll just figure it out, my man. Like I said, I'm very interested in the property. We just got to figure it out. And whatever makes sense for yourself, your sister, and then obviously us as well too.
As you guys heard on the phone call, the seller was motivated, and the reason why he was trying to sell is because he was moving out of the country. Now, he didn't want to become a landlord. He didn't want to property manage because he knows tenants can lead to problems. I let him know that we specialize in that, and we're able to take away the problem, create a win-win situation, and now we were able to acquire this property at a 2.75%, zero credit, zero credentials, and zero cash out of pocket. Now, by being able to identify the problem, by building the relationship, now the seller's happy to walk away happy, and we're able to get into a property that has the potential of cash flowing up to $900 or even more. See, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house built in, I believe, 2022. And at the end of the day, this property is turnkey. And the reality of it is opportunity is everywhere that you're looking for it. Remember, it's only when you're looking for opportunity. And by Ben identifying the seller's goals, on OfferUp for a dollar desk, that dollar desk allowed us to come in and buy this property for $1 is what it cost us. The desk turned into this $300,000 asset that is going to cash flow up to $900 every single month. And on top of that, we're going to take the appreciation over time. If this property appreciates between 3 to 5% each year, how much in value do we get in 5 years? How much in value do we get in 10 years? And this is why you need to be buying real estate today. If you're somebody that has money, you need to be going to buy deals. And if you don't want to go out there and talk to sellers, you're somebody that should be investing in other people's deals. Now, let's talk about why this seller would want a subject to. Why a seller would want a subject to. Well, see, when somebody wants to subject to a deal, it's because they have a problem. This seller is a prime example of somebody that had a problem. He wanted to leave out of the country. He had the house on the market. Realtor fees were going to eat him up. Closing costs were going to eat him up. So he couldn't sell it traditionally because it was priced too high. But now by selling to us, we were able to give him and structure a deal on terms. I took over the mortgage at a 2.75% interest. My payment's no more than $1,000. And we're able to create this win-win situation. Now, not only do I have a cash flowing asset, but I also have an appreciating asset. At the end of the day, somebody that wants to sell to you on subject to is going to be somebody that has a problem, somebody with no equity, somebody that's leaving out of town, somebody that can't afford their mortgage, somebody that can't afford 2 mortgages, somebody that might have just lost their job, or somebody that can no longer pay for the house. This guy left the country to move to the Philippines and is happy. I am happy. And the tenant that I'm going to move in here is going to be happy because they have the opportunity to have a newer house. Make sure if you learned something from today's video or you gained a little bit of value, just a little bit of value, make sure to like this video. I want you to comment down below what other videos you would like to see, what questions you have about this property. And I want you to subscribe and make sure you click the little bell on the side to get notified every time we post a YouTube video, because I want to be dropping the most value on this channel. And I want to be able to answer any questions that you guys have and how you too can go out there and start doing deals. Let's grow, baby.